Do you know someone who is excessively focused on their own interests and goals, doing everything possible to get what they want without considering the means? In psychology, such people are known as individuals with abrasive personality traits, such as egocentrism, narcissism, and psychopathy. Many think that Machiavelli taught us how to be evil, achieving what we desire without considering the means used. This is where the term Machiavellian comes from. The reality is that he simply showed the malevolence that exists within humanity, and keeping this in mind, explained brutally realistically when he said it is better to be feared than loved. There are people who have little or no awareness of the harm they cause to others while pursuing their own interests. In this video, I will show you 6 signs that could indicate you are living with someone of this type. It is important that you watch the video until the end, because you will learn exactly how to identify and protect yourself from people with these traits. They lack empathy. People who lack empathy have a great difficulty putting themselves in others' shoes. They are extremely egocentric and only see what interests and benefits them, without caring about others. These people don't worry if their behavior causes harm or creates problems for others. To truly know a person, you need something more than attention. You need to understand their feelings, imagine yourself in their place, rejoice in their joy, and suffer in their pain. That is, empathize. Putting yourself in others' shoes is one of the greatest virtues of being human, and for this reason, its complete absence can only lead to something terrible. There are people who do not care at all about the feelings of others. On the contrary, they take pleasure in their agony to the point of causing pain for enjoyment. Falseness is the willingness to adopt behaviors such as lying or deceit to achieve one's goals. This person can then create situations and act against those who have willingly placed their trust in them. Everything is permissible, including betrayal, to advance one's own interests. They destroy others' self-esteem. No kind gesture, however small, is in vain. No one loses anything by being kind, friendly, and valuing the people around them. No one, except truly evil people who strive to constantly criticize, not with the intent to promote improvement, but with the perverse desire to humiliate. Sometimes we have colleagues of this type, or at least those people we consider friends and do not distance ourselves from because we choose not to give it importance or simply because we have gotten used to it. But the right thing is to distance yourself from these toxic people, because the effects of living under the weight of such behaviors can be very severe. They lie all the time. Lying means, in a sense, giving up one's dignity as a person. In practice, everyone lies to someone else. Although we know it's wrong, we may lie to avoid getting into a bigger problem or to spare someone's suffering. However, liars often engage in deceptive or illegal behaviors, such as lying or deceit, to achieve their goals. Avoiding even the smallest lie, even if necessary, requires a lot of reflection. However, there are people who simply cannot stop lying, especially for personal gain, and have no problem deceiving others all the time. The wicked are cunning, invent lies, and try to manipulate others to get what they want. They create intrigues, pitting people against each other. Think of those people who always make up stories, give excuses, deceive, manipulate, invalidate others' feelings, and pretend to care about others. But in reality, they have a well-defined plan in their minds, and lies are not mistakes. They are generally decisions with bad intentions. They are true energy vampires. The best effect of pleasant people is felt after leaving their presence, and you know what I mean. When we meet with friends and time flies, after saying goodbye, we feel nostalgic for that pleasant moment. Sometimes it even happens with people we didn't even know. At the first meeting, there is an immediate good feeling. The person is full of positive energy and contagiously affects the environment. You've likely experienced this feeling before. On the other hand, there are those people who drain our energy. Just their presence creates an unpleasant environment. No one can feel comfortable around such people, and you always need to stay on guard. It's impossible not to think that they are plotting something. Or sometimes we don't even understand why, but we feel uncomfortable. Additionally, you feel disheartened when that person is around, so be wary of these people. They do not take responsibility for their actions. They are narcissists. It is wrong and immoral to try to escape the consequences of one's actions, according to Mahatma Gandhi. The trait of narcissism is characterized by an exaggerated sense of self-importance and entitlement. The narcissist feels deserving of others' attention and having more privileges than others. In this sense, narcissism is like a specific belief that allows the individual to fully justify their selfish and malevolent behaviors without taking any responsibility. Because when they believe their bad actions are justified, it prevents that evil person from feeling guilt or shame and from having to reassess their behavior. For this reason, it is the parents' duty to teach their children from a young age to be responsible, set limits, and show the consequences of their actions, so that in the future, it is not society that imposes them. They are cruel. Mark Twain once said, "Of all the creatures, man is the most detestable. It is the only creature that inflicts pain for pleasure, knowing it causes pain. Only humans are capable of being cruel." Many of us are cruel sometimes, normally because we experience intense anger and say something foolish that we know will offend another person. Although horrible, this can be an instinctive act. But some people are deliberately and purely cruel. They enjoy seeing others suffer and even seek ways to cause the maximum suffering for their own amusement. A bad person, when faced with a problem, does not seek a solution to resolve it. On the contrary, they do everything to add fuel to the fire. They are willing to cause physical or psychological pain, either to another human being or to defenseless animals. Many of these people know how to disguise themselves well, live a normal life, and even appear as kind people to some. But for those who know, the reality is different. It could be a husband who beats his wife, a mother who mistreats her children, or a child who despises his parents. A person with a black heart, when they are with colleagues at work, for example, may seem almost like a saint. They always listen, or pretend to listen, to others' problems, invite people to drinks at the bar, and make funny jokes. That's why they are so dangerous. We cannot ignore that there are truly evil people in the world, and we must learn to recognize these signs and then distance ourselves from these people. But if for some reason you cannot distance yourself, act smartly. Listen, pretend to believe, and let people think they are deceiving you. Observe their behavior. This way you will get to know them better and be able to anticipate the attitudes they might take before they cause you harm. And as Sun Tzu, perhaps the greatest strategist in history, said in one of his most famous quotes, "Know your enemy as yourself, and in 100 battles you will be safe." So when you are faced with a bad person, at work, or in any situation, you need to know how these people who pretend to be your friends, but might actually be your enemies, think. If you interpret well who they are and know them well, you will have a 100% chance of distancing yourself when you find it appropriate, without having had any trouble. And also, you will be prepared to face any situation. If you liked the video, subscribe to the Pearls of Wisdom channel and don't forget to activate the bell to always stay updated on new videos. And of course, leave a like and a comment. See you in the next video.